parade of morons.
Oh boy. We're going to get in the weeds on this one.
Oh yeah, big time. Kanye and Candace Owens wear White Lives Matter shirts to Paris Fashion Week.
And trolls. And then he went on Tucker, which was the interview that really went viral. And you know that for the next 6 months, Tucker's going to be at all of his like super white parties, like my friend Kanye.
I have a black friend.
Yeah. The funny thing about conservatives is that they'll be dogging rap and Hollywood nonstop. Like, Hollywood is demonic. Hollywood is full of pedophiles. Hollywood is like the worst place. And rap is for the devil. And the minute that somebody even gives them any attention or says anything conservative who's from Hollywood, they're like the saddest simps ever. Just lapping up the chance to be close to someone that famous.
It's so true.
It's so sad. Conservatives are still so thirsty for the mainstream in some weird way. They'll be like, you know what? The New York Times is garbage. I hate the New York Times. It's a trash magazine and nobody should read it. Did you hear my book's a New York Times bestseller? You guys are crazy. Like, they still want the elitism that comes with being in the mainstream. And they still want the halo effect that comes from being around somebody who's as famous as Kanye.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, Kanye is going to say White Lives Matter. He's an artist. I get it. I said it on the Ben Shapiro election special when he got trash for wearing a MAGA hat. This is a guy who's supposed to toe a line. And I understand as an artist and being a contrarian, just being like, that I don't want to play this game. And then he said like BLM was a scam. Well, we all know BLM was a scam. We've been covering it on this show for weeks. I mean, some of the things he's saying aren't wrong. The other gross thing on the left that is disgusting is that there's like always this lifting up of people who are mentally ill, overcoming their trauma, overcoming their mental health issues, and saying like, look at how brave they are for coming out and saying, unless it's a black person who says something they don't agree with, and suddenly it's like, oh, look at Kanye, he's mentally ill. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's gross. When it's like somebody shoots up a school, it's not mental health, it's guns. And yet when Kanye says something about God and something they don't agree with, they're like, oh, look at this crazy black person. Clearly, he's mentally ill. It's bullshit. If he was supporting Joe Biden and vaccines, everybody would be like, look at him overcoming his mental health. He's so brave. All I want to say is everyone is full of shit. Nobody has any standards. Nobody's consistent. They'll use whatever they need to use when it's politically expedient and toss it out the window the minute it doesn't fit their narrative.
Then there was this travesty. Oh boy. It was a no voting, no vucking ad on Black dating app.
No voting, no loving. No voting, no touching.
We could have done an entire dumpster fire just on this absolute travesty. And as Thomas Chatterton Williams said on Twitter, is there any population of people that gets more infantilized than the black community?
Yeah.
It was a bad week for the black community, I think, in general. Thank you, Kanye. And thank you to this ad, which is like every weird trope. And it was, I don't understand, is this whole organization that was behind this is from like Michelle Obama was behind it. But then everybody was posting pictures of all the people who were behind this video, and it was like mostly white people. So I'm like, is this just what white people think of black people? What and how many people did this have to go through? How many drafts? Think of how many people were involved in this. Sam, you know what's involved in a production like this. It was a highly produced video.
Oh boy. Yeah.
How many people had to sit around and be like, yep, this is a good idea.
The pitch, the writing, the shooting, the editing, the final product, the review of the final product.
The going over the final. At no point someone wasn't like, excuse me, this is filled with a lot of racist tropes that are not representative of our community at all. And in fact, this is deeply offensive and infantilizing.
Yeah, we're really talking down to a segment of the population here.
Gerrymander that coochie?
Yeah.
I'm in the jacuzzi, gerrymander this coochie.
Who wrote these lyrics? I'm going to filibuster all over your face. Okay, that was one we made up. Gerrymander that coochie.
I know.
And I'm still confused because did they mean it as like the red team is gerrymandering that coochie? Because generally it's redistricting when your team's doing it. It should be redistrict that coochie if they're referring to their own team. Or redistricting that coochie. We have too much fun.